And no, it's not because you're ugly. Do you ever have one of those friends that is like got the whole life together, like really good looking, like they just seem like they are such a good person, kind, compassionate, all those lovely things, and they're like single? Or screw it, maybe it's you and you're like, why am I single? I'm a good person, I eat my vegetables. Well, here are some reasons. I've spent an embarrassingly long time thinking about this topic, so I feel like I've got a good list of stuff to go over. Starting off strong, it's because you're not toxic enough. We could all see that coming, isn't it? I feel like if you're too wholesome and bland and like civil and easy go with the flow, it's not spicy enough for the boys these days, or for the girls even, or for the people. If you're not preparing yourself to like ruin someone's life and cheat on them and like screw things up, then it's probably not like the drama that people are looking for. Like, because do you know what, I was speaking to my mum about this, like for some people it seems weird, but like toxic is their comfort zone. Like things falling apart, drama, fights, like shouting at each other, for some people that's like the norm, and if that's not happening, that's when they get uncomfortable. Like we've all seen those couples where it's like someone is just starting fights for no reason. This second one is my category. Like I am the boss of this category, and this one is basically like you're so self-sufficient that you don't need anyone. Basically, when you girl boss too hard to the point where you're just so independent that like someone else being in your life would just be weird. I feel like this one happens when you're like you're doing really well for yourself, like you've got all your ducks in a row. Maybe if you're a bit older and you've got like a car, a house, like literally like you're sorted, like you're so grown up and self-sufficient and independent, like you're not even used to having someone around to help you with things, or like you literally just don't depend on anyone. Relying on someone else wasn't an option because there was no one to rely on. Like you're just not going to be used to relying on someone like a partner. You can be in a couple and both be independent and both be like self-sufficient, but it's like I don't even know really, because I've not had a relationship, but let me know in the comments. I feel like you do need to have some element of like, you need to rely on that person, they rely on you to have it work. Like you can't just be like both in isolation, separately, not relying on each other. If you've girl bossed too hard and like made yourself super independent, that is going to be a tricky one, because it's like you do need some element of like relying on other people. I mean, side note, do you ever see those people that are in and out of relationships? Like that is so iconic, because how have you managed to do that like 5 times when I can't even do it once? Like this is also my category. Number 3 is you can't look past orange flags. I feel like if you're giving people no leeway, like any little thing they say wrong is just an absolute no, that is probably a reason why you're single. I used to do this, but I feel like I'm getting better at it, where like I'm just like giving people leeway and like, okay, I'll let that slide, we'll see where that goes. But I think it's a hard balance, because you do have to have boundaries and have like standards. I'm not gonna let this slide, you can't say this, you can't, you know, be offensive and say horrible things. But then there's also like, you're actually just a perfectionist and you're just looking for perfect, and this is more likely to happen and brew, I feel like, if you're someone that maybe judges a little bit more. And we can all say like, oh, I don't judge, but we all judge. Like we all judge, even if it's like the tiniest little bit, like I wouldn't have worn that top with those trousers. Or if it's like people who are extremely judgmental and like just go off on one and like judge people. If you're looking for perfection in another partner, like you're not letting anything slide, no orange flags, no red flags, like nothing can get past you, it's probably because you trying to be perfect yourself. You've put such high standards on for yourself that no one else can even get near to you or be close to you, because you want to be perfect, everyone else has to be perfect. Nothing's gonna slide with you. And I think some people always say perfectionism is a good trait because it means you work hard, you know, you do things to a high standards, you have high standards for yourself, but it's also a bit claustrophobic. Like perfect isn't real, perfection isn't real, it's an illusion. You're working closer and closer to something that isn't real, so it's literally just a hamster wheel. You're not going to escape this loop of trying to be perfect, trying to be better, and you just make yourself like, I don't know, like you make yourself unhappy in the process, because you're giving yourself such high standards that aren't even reachable, and then you're giving these standards to other people as well, so then you don't have any close friends or relationships, or do you know what I mean? Well, that was a tangent and a half. Reeling it back in, going back to the main point of the video, this one is waiting to be complete. And do you know what, it hit me now, like this video is such a weird video for someone that's never had a relationship. Like I am not qualified at all to talk about why you're single when I've literally been single for 22 years. But this was a big thing that I did before. Like I was like, oh, let me wait till I finish sixth form and then I'll join the dating apps. I'll try and like meet someone. Or okay, let me finish my exam, then I'll meet someone. And now, literally right now, my excuse is like, oh, wait till I finish my elective. Like I'm packing for my elective, my room's a mess. I've tidied everything out of the way so you can't see. Like, okay, I'll wait till I come back from my elective, then I'll go on Hinge and I'll go on some dates. Like you're constantly either waiting to be complete or you're just postponing it. If you postponed your birthday week after week after week, what's going to happen? You're never going to have a birthday. You're never going to celebrate your birthday party. Like, I think, do you know what I've realised with relationships? Rather than make it this big thing, like, you need to just think of it as like another friendship, because that's kind of what it is. Everyone always talks about like it's better to be friends with someone before you get into a relationship with them, because you know them a little bit better and like you have that banter and stuff. You wouldn't postpone having a friendship. You wouldn't be like, I'm gonna start looking for friends when I come back from my elective. I'm gonna start making friends after my exams. Like, you would just do it now anyway. You would just do it whenever's convenient. So that's the same thing. And I'm gonna finish it off on probably the biggest one, and that is low self-esteem. I feel like we've all had a time of our lives that we've had really low self-esteem. Like, I'm talking about like you literally avoid looking in the mirror. Like, you don't like yourself. Like, that's a unique place to be at, where you literally just don't like who you are as a person. I feel like if your self-esteem is so low where you don't even like yourself as a person, and you're maybe chasing a relationship to like validate yourself in that way, you want someone else to like love you enough that you think you'll love yourself as a result. Low self-esteem stops you from doing so many things. It stops you from motivating yourself to get out of bed in the morning, to look your best, to try your hardest, because you're scared to fail. Like, your confidence of yourself is so low, you don't even want to try to do things because you're like, oh, what if I fail? What if I drop even further down? Like, low self-esteem will stop you from doing so much. Not even find a relationship, it'll stop you from doing loads. It stops you from working at your best in school or in your job. It stops you from like reaching out and trying to like improve your friendships with people. It just knocks your confidence. Then you have confidence to literally barely do anything. Like, this is the category where I feel like if you say like, oh, I'm too ugly a lot, or I'm too skinny, I'm too fat, I'm too tall, I'm too short, like, I feel like this is where you are if you say those things to yourself. No matter what you tell yourself, you're too this, you're too that. No matter what it is, like, fill in the blank. That's a story you told yourself as to why you have no confidence. For example, for me, it was, oh, I'm too tall and my nose is too big, I'm too ugly. Like, during school, I talked about this a lot in one of my previous videos. You're attributing all these things as to like why you have no confidence, but the secret to stopping all of that and stopping all this like low self-esteem and like negativity is to break the cycle. And one of the most helpful things I've ever done in my whole entire life to like change that script and change my self-esteem, change my confidence, like, is affirmations. And I know this is like not everyone's cup of tea and some people find it so cringe, but the moment I'll link the video, it's this 20-minute video of this girl just saying positive things. The moment I started listening to that every night when I went to sleep, I'm not lying when I say my life changed. But I highly recommend, I feel like if you're struggling with your looks or your confidence or anything like that, just give it a go, because it massively helped me. I can't even emphasize enough how much it helped. Do you know what else I think? Self-esteem doesn't care what you look like. You can have high self-esteem and look not the best. I'm not even being horrible. Like, I know I was talking about being judgmental earlier in the video because it sounds like I'm being judgmental now, but I mean, how many times have you seen people that are like, I see these people on TikTok that are like, you know, hugely obese, like, and they've got really high self-esteem, regardless of what people are saying in the comments. Lose weight, like, you're this, you're that. People are saying horrible things to them, but they have so much like self-esteem and confidence. Like, I've seen girls in like bikinis who are like 500 pounds, 600 pounds. There are people who you wouldn't think can be confident, and it's like, if you were in their shoes, you would feel horrible, you would feel ugly, you'd feel fat or whatever, but they feel amazing. Like, self-esteem doesn't care what you look like. It's all an internal thing, and it's like how you see yourself determines all of it. And that's a reassuring thing, because it means that, okay, no matter what I was telling myself, like, you know, my nose is big, I'm ugly, I'm too tall, I'm too skinny, I'm too lanky, I look like a boy, it doesn't matter. You can have all those things but still feel confident. Like, I don't know if it's coming across, but that's like such a reassuring thing. It doesn't matter what you look like your self-esteem can still change. It's just about what you tell yourself. You need to stop saying the to this, to that, and start putting in something positive. I feel like this is my third TED talk on the channel now. I've done so many of these where I just go off on a tangent. I was on about being single and having no boyfriend, and now I'm on about like self-belief and like affirmations. Anyway, I'm gonna finish off this video by showing you my favorite affirmations on Spotify at the moment. These are the ones that I listen to every night to go to bed. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.